Yeah, so good day everyone. Today is like a very special vlog wherein I'm going to condense every knowledge I know, particularly about study habits and study techniques throughout my elementary and high school days. So, this is kind of unique because it is not the advice type, but instead it is more of a story type wherein I'm going to share my experiences and what I think is the turning point and what I think has a huge factor in 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 me achieving a very nice performance, especially in the later part, especially when I was grade 11 and grade 12. Yeah, so without further ado, let's get started. But before that, disclaimer na muna. So, this is based on my personal experiences and it can vary because based from what I experience and based from what let you say that, based from what I understand, study techniques and study habits varies. Kumbaga, nag-iiba siya depending on your situation. Like, for example, when I was grade 7, iba yung study habits and study techniques ko. And when I was grade 11, grade 12, iba din yung study habits and study techniques ko. Particularly because of experiences and particularly because of life circumstances. So, for you to be able to understand kung sino nga ba ako. So, we will go to the very early part of my academic journey, particularly the pre-high school life, like the elementary type. So, mag-start tayo sa childhood days or particularly nung grade 1. Kasi, alam niyo yung experience na parang pag dilat mo ng mata mo, parang 5 years old ka na kagad. Like, wala kang memories when you are, 1 year old, 2 year old, 3 year old, 5 year old. Like, didilat ka na lang bigla, tapos pagtingin mo, 5 year old ka na, tapos alam mo na yung language. Parang parang nag flash forward. Yeah. So, based from my early memories, we will start with the grade 1. So, ito yung talaga, nasabi natin na parang pinaka-childhood days. When I was grade 1, masabi natin na yung parents ko is very strict, particularly si mama. Like, when I was child kasi, parang yung parents ko, parang dedicated sila sa pag-aral. Like, ultimong assignment, ultimong mathematics, ultimong pag-aral, talagang sinusubaybayan nila ako. Like, nalala ko noon, grade 1 ata ako noon. Tapos, hindi ko pa memorize yung multiplication table. Tapos, ako noon, syempre, takot ka sa parents mo. Tapos, iyak-iyak ako noon. Sabi ko, 2, 4, 6, 8. Tapos kapag mali, pipit-pitin niya ng kamay ko. So, parang, parang sabi natin parang dahil doon, like, dahil sa punishment and reward, parang na-reinforce na kaagad sa akin yung parang basic knowledge. And dahil doon, since very strict ang parents ko when it comes to academics, parang I perform well during the grade 1. Nalala ko nun parang ano ata ako nun, parang top 2 ata ako nun sa klase namin. Tapos, yan. So, kumbaga, very strict yung parents ko noon. Tapos, parang, alam yung parang weird dynamics. Like, si mama mo, si papa mo. Tapos, si mama mo, siya yung palaging pinapagalitan ka. Tapos, si papa mo naman, parang chillax vibes. Ganon. Tapos, yeah. Ang masasabi kong parang turning point doon or parang key insights doon is since yung parents ko is very strict when it comes to academics. Tapos syempre when I was a child, lahat ng itinuturo nila parang copy and memorize. Parang ini-imitate ko kung ano ginagawa nila. Kumbaga, I grew up in a household na talagang grabe yung pagkapahalaga when it comes to education. Pero, masabi ko, yeah, turning point. But, actually, it's kinda sad kasi alam mo yung parang since too much dedication na sa ACADS, tapos every konting mali mo, lagi kang pinapagalitan, lagi kang pinipit-pit, tapos yeah, kind of bad experience. But at the same time, kind of grateful kasi if not for that experience, hindi ako parang mag-ano, hindi ako magiging, in Bicol term, daay ako matultol sa pagklase. Yeah. Pero, ang naalala ko lang noon, solid yung iyak ko. Like, almost every day or every other day, either napipit-pit ako niyan o kaya nakukurot, tapos pinapagalitan kami ni ate. Ganon. Yeah. Okay, let's go to the grade 2. Hindi ko alam kung meron kayo dito natutunan, but yeah, grade 1 experience. And you may relate to that or you may reflect on your past experience. Like, isipin mo, nung grade 1 ako, ano pa ginagawa ko noon? Ayan. Ayan. Grade 2. So, it is the time where I noticed that parang bumababa na yung academic performance ko. Like, isipin mo, grade 1 ka, top 2. Tapos, nung grade 2 ako, naging top 6 na lang ata ako noon. Tapos, yung grade ko noon, parang 91-92%. Kasi, during this time, di ko alam kung ano bang nangyari sa K-12. Like, during that time, super hirap actually, wala pa nun with honor eh. Talagang top 1 to top 10 lang. It doesn't matter kung 90 ka or ano. Ang importante, within top 10 ka. Yeah, so, during that time, nasa top 6 ako nun. Tapos, bumaba yung parang academic performance ko. Wala akong nun masyadong memory. Kasi, although bumaba yung performance ko sa academics, kasi naging top 6 na ako, hindi naman ako masyadong pinapagalitan ni mama. Instead, what I realized is parang instead na nagiging strict sila, parang nagiging lax. Kumbaga, parang nagiging chillax na lang sila. Tapos nalala ko noon, binigyan kami ni Papa ng tablet ni ate. Tapos doon kami nag-share ng games. Tapos na-realize ko looking back na syempre bata ako noon, parang na-addict ako noon sa laro. Like instead na mag-aral, ang nilook forward ko after class, yung tablet. Kasi maraming doon mga laro. Tapos kapag na-board na, magka-pa-install ako kay Papa noon. Installan mo kami ng games, ganon. Hindi pa ako noon aware, pero looking back, yung focus ko noon sa academics, parang nahuhugot na siya sa video games. Yun. Grade 3. Ito talaga yung parang sad moment ko. Kasi during this time, grade 3, nawala ako noon sa top 10. Actually, nawala talaga ako sa top 10. Like, imaginein mo yung grade mo noon, laging 90, 92, 95. For the first time, yung grade ko nito, naging 85. Yes, 85. During this time kasi, nagkaroon ako ng sariling tablet. Tapos, as in, buong buhay ko, like, buong focus ko, nakatuon na sa tablet, nakatuon na sa laro. And slowly, instead na mag-ano ako sa studies, na ako sa laro. Kasi dagdag pa dito yung factor na yung parents ko, hindi na sila strict. Like, pinapabayaan na nila kami. Like, compared nung grade 1 ako na talagang tutok na tutok sa mga assignments, parang pinapabayaan lang nila kami. Like, parang meron na kami more freedom. Tapos, yeah, because of that, I made bad decisions. Pero, babata pa naman ako nun eh. But yeah, looking back, parang masasabi natin na mas naging priority ko na noon yung video games instead na pag-aaral. Mostly, yung nilalaro ko noon, Minecraft, Temple Run, Subway Surfer, tapos meron pang Pooh. Yan. Pero, bad memories yung ko sa grade 3 ako kasi for the first time, alam yung pingot, yung parang nagganito sa tenga nung math teacher namin kasi pinarecite ako noon sa board. Tapos, hindi ko nasagutan. Hindi ko alam, nainis siguro yung teacher. Tapos, piningot ako sa harap ng klase. Tapos, dahil doon, parang hindi na ako nun naging pala-recite. Kumbaga, shy type na ako. Lagi na ako nun nasa likodan. Grade 4, yeah. Di ba, palagi na ako nasa likodan noon ng Tapos, meron ako nung mga circle of friends, mga katulad ko rin na, ang priority is video games instead na pag-aaral. Tapos, ang tawag sa amin doon sa likod, kasi, doon sa likuran ng classroom namin, di ba, sabi classroom, doon sa likuran, meron doong mga broom box. Tapos yung broom box noon, syempre, nakahiga, inuupuan namin. Tapos ang tawag sa amin noon, nung na kami, nung grade 3, grade 4, broom box boys. Kasi every class, doon kami nakatambay. Like, isipin mo, imbis na umupo ka sa normal na upuan, like, nasa likuran ka lang, tapos nakaganon ka lang. Yeah. Grade 4, wala ako dito masyadong memory. Aside sa, di ba, bumaba na yung academic performance ko, tapos mas naging priority ko na yung parang video games. Ang naalala ko lang noon, kahit na i-try ko, talagang hindi ako nakakasali sa top 10 or 90 plus na grade. Tapos, ang naalala ko lang noon is parang shame. Shame siya, like, kasi, di ba, nung grade 1, tas grade 2 ako, palagi ako nung, kasali sa with honors or top 10. Tapos, ever since na grade 3 ako, nawala na ako nun sa, sa honor. Grade 4, nawala rin. Tapos, ang naalala ko lang noon, like, yung every time merong recognition or every time merong, delivery ng grade, like, hindi ko na siya nilook forward kasi alam ko na, ay, hindi naman ako kasali diyan. Tapos, alam mo yung yung parang, di ba, pag-release ng card, tapos, imbes na i-encourage ka ng parents mo, parang pinapagalitan ka pa na, yan, diyan ako pa makakahawat ng video games. Parang ganon, yan, kaka-tablet mo yan. Tapos, most na emotion na predominant during this time is shame. Shame siya na, imbes na words of encouragement, parang ridicule yung na-experience ko. Like, sinasabi nila na, maray pa nga yan si ilingon mo, mahigos mag-adal. Ika, mo? Anong pala mo? Top list. Parang ganon. Yung top list is parang wala sa honor. So, for me, the most hated day ko noon is the release of card and recognition. Kasi alam ko na, the only thing that I will feel at this moment is shame from parents. Ganon. Yeah, well, totoo naman talaga yung sinabi nila. Pero since bata pa nga ako, parang it really hurts sa young heart, ganon. Kasi if your parents came from the background na parang big deal yung academics, if your parents is like this, parang I think you can relate to this na, ganun. Tapos, grade 4 ako noon, alala ko noon, parang August ata noon, parang, August ba yun? Basta quarter 1, nearing quarter 2, naglipat kami ng house. Yeah. So, from Triangulo, nagpunta kami sa Concepcion Pequeña. Kasi nandito yung parang pinsan ko, yung cousin. So, during this time, siyempre, nag-change ng environment. Tapos, instead na parang isolated ka na, parang I was surrounded by my cousins. Yeah. I can say na during this time, parang shy type pa ako noon. Hindi pa ako nang palalabas. Tapos, pero slowly, parang nakakasaluma ako yung mga cousin ko. Tapos, yeah, ganun. Pero yung school namin, the same pa rin. Doon pa rin kami sa Tabuk. Yeah. Yeah, basta during this time, maybe you can relate. Parang recognition day, release ng card, hindi mo siya nilook forward. Parang sense of shame yung na-experience mo. Grade 5. Sabihin natin na ito na yung parang parang last year ng parang purgatory. Since grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, hindi ako nakapasok sa kahit top 5, top 10. Parang kahit nga naka 90, hindi ako na napasok. So, grade 5, at this point, I completely give up na talaga yung hope na makasali ako sa with honors. Like, kahit ano talagang gawin ko, parang, yeah, walang effect. Well, it makes sense since, during this time, nahihiya na ako kapag meron ng release ng card, kapag meron ng announcement kung sino yung honors. Pero isa sa ikinaka-proud ko during this moment is that never ako natanggal sa section 1. Like, isipin mo sa buong klase, like meron kayong 40. Ang performance ko nun is talagang nasa average lang talaga ako. Like, kung merong 40, sabihin natin nasa ako, rank 25, 28, never ako yung naalis. At dahil doon, never ako natanggal sa section 1. So, sabi natin na parang sense of accomplishment siya. Pero, even though hindi ako natanggal sa section 1, yung life ko is nagre-revolve talaga siya sa video games. Kasi for me, it is a form of escape. Like, yeah. Kasi, dahil nga sa sense of shame, sense of guilt, tapos pinapahiya ka pa. So, parang ang sense of escape ko lang nun is maglaro ng video games. And during this time, na-discover ko yung Clash of Clans and talagang na-hook ako sa game na yun. So, isa sa memorable thing na naalala ko nun is na-confiscate yung tablet ko during class hours. Kasi, ganito kasi yung story. Every time na wala yung teachers, ako tas yung mga friends ko, naglalaro kami naglalaro kami ng mini militia, Soul Knight, yung tipong nag-hotspot lang, tapos wifi, tapos kayo ng mga friends mo, nakakonect sa game. Yan, ganon. So, during that time, ano ata nun, AP, si Teacher Barbs. Yan. Uy, hindi yung real name na, ano lang yan, parang nickname lang yun, Teacher Barbs. So, during that time, wala siya sa klase. Tapos, meron pinapasulat sa board. Tapos ako, tapos yung friend ko, hindi kami nun nagsulat ng board. Instead, naglaro kami ng video game. Tapos, meron siya doon pinapunta na parang, ano niya, parang spy niya. Tapos nakita kami naglalaro. So, during that time, pinatawag kami. Tapos kinonfiscate yung, yung tablet. Tapos, yun, sense of, parang, okay, sad moment na parang happy moment na pasaway era. Ganon. But, yeah, grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, wala ako nung may pagmamalaki. Kasi, ano lang ako nun eh. Kung ano yung performance ko, okay na yun. Yun. Grade 6. Yan. 15 minutes, grade 6 na tayo. Dito ko masasabi na parang siya, turning point. Turning point. Bakit siya nasabing turning point? So, di ba sinabi ko na yung environment has a huge impact on your decision and in your performance. Grade 6, I can say na ito yung parang turning point ng life ko. Kasi, during this time, grade 6, meron kaming yung classmate. Ang name niya si Lance. Tapos, meron pa isang classmate. Ang name niya si Angel. So, weirdly, yung parent nila, tas yung mama ko, naging close. So, every lunch, sabay kami nun kumakain. So, dahil doon, parang naging mas kakilala ko sila. Yan. So, di ba sinabi ko meron kami yung classmate si Lance. So, si Lance, siya yung type na smart but not super smart. Kumbaga, nasa level siya na parang kapag kinausap mo, ay, okay lang siya. Pero, hindi mo mahalata na smart siya. So, dahil doon, naging friends kami kasi ako, average type. Tapos, akala ko sa kanya, average type lang. Ganon. So, yan, naging circle of friends kami. Tapos, every lunch, sabay kami kumakain. Tapos, over time, naging close kami. Yan. So, nalala ko noon, first quarter, siya, nakapasok siya sa with honor. Naging 90 yung grade niya. Tapos, yung grade ko noon, 88. Yan, 88. So, sabi ko, uy, nakaya niya naging with honor. So, bali ako, parang na-curious ako na, wait, if nakaya niyang mag with honor, ibig sabihin, kaya ko rin. So, bali, ginawa ko noon, so, bali, nag-aral ako, pero yung aral ko is, what I did different, kumbaga, is, every quiz, nagpipray ako kay Lord. Like, nalala ko noon, meron kaming quiz sa ESP, meron kaming quiz sa science, meron kaming quiz sa math. Halimbawa, 15 items, 20 items. Ginagawa ko noon, before mag-start ang class, grade 6 ako, gaganon ako, tapos kasi ko, Lord, sana po mataas yung score na makuha ko. Tapos yan, ganon. Tapos, kapag mataas yung score ko, tapos nataasan ko siya, happy akong manasado. Tapos kapag mababa yung score ko, alam yung feeling na parang super na down ka. Ganon. Kumbaga, ang difference nung first quarter is, instead na yung mindset ko na, ay, okay na to, kumbaga, mas naging conscious ako sa grade ko. Kumbaga, kapag nakita ko na, wait, parang mababa yung score ko sa quiz, parang nako-conscious ako. Like, minsan nasasad ako, minsan kapag mataas yung score ko, naging happy ako. Kumbaga, yung first shift na nangyari sa akin is yung attitude. Yung attitude na nagiging conscious ka na sa grade, sa score, sa grade, ganon. Yun. Tapos, second quarter, during second quarter, di ba si Lance with honor? During second quarter, si Angel, naging honor ulit. Naging honor siya for the first time. Tapos, kumbaga sa trio, ako yun parang na-left behind. Tapos yung dalawa, nakapasok na sa honor. Sabi ko, parang, ang ginawa, nalala ko nun, nag-pray ako, Lord, sana po makawin honor ako third quarter. Ganon. So, yeah. Ang difference nun, sa, compared nung first quarter, kasi di ba yung first quarter, naging conscious ako sa mga scores ko. During the second quarter, ang difference na ginawa ko is, after class, binubuklat ko lang yung notebook ko, ganun lang. So, di ba, nagsara ng notes. Tapos, pagka-uwi, o-open ko yung notes ko, tapos babasahin ko lang yan. Tapos, yan lang. Yan lang yung difference na ginawa ko. Tapos, ang nangyari pa during that time is, every project, kumbaga, naging conscious ako sa output ko. Like, inisip ko, wait, paano ko to mapapaganda? Yan. Yan lang yung difference na compared nung ibang mga project na parang, ay, okay na to, pasa ko na. Iniisip ko noon na, wait, paano ko to mas nakapaganda? Paano ko ma-improve yung design? Yun. So, yung shift sa akin is, una, naging conscious ako sa mga scores ko. Pangalawa, nagpipray ako. Pangatlo, kada tapos ng klase, pagka-uwi, magbubuklat ako ng notebook ko, basahin ko lang kahit hindi ko yan kaya i-memorize. Tapos, pang-apat, every output, every project, naging conscious ako. Naging conscious ako in a way that, paano ko ito mas mapapaganda? Yan. Third quarter. Ito yung parang nasabi natin na happiest moment of my entire life. Kasi for the first time in 3 years, nakasala ako sa with honor. Not for my parents, but for myself talaga. Kasi grade 3, grade 4, grade 5, lagi ako pinapagalitan, lagi ako pinapahiya, lagi akong ninanagta. Ay, maray pa ngayon si nakakawin ni kano ka. Parang ganon. So, bali, third quarter, for the first time, naging happy ako. Like, oh my God, kaya kumalan makawin honor. But, big thanks doon kay Angel Esquilans kasi sila yung parang naging push, kumbaga dahil sa kanila, naging conscious ako sa kung ano yung gagawin ko, kung ano yung dapat i-perform ko, ganon. Here's a weird analogy. Achieving with honor, 90 grade, for the first time, is the most happiest moment of my life compared when I was grade 12 achieving a grade of 97. Weird analogy. Kumbaga, the first reward is the sweetest. Yan. Fourth quarter. Dito talaga yung moment na super motivated ako. Like, talagang tig-push ko yung self ko na want ko talaga mag-honor, want ko na before matapos nung grade 6 na to, makatungtong ako sa stage. I forgot most of the details, pero I managed. Talagang, sabi natin na kabit ka, kasi yung grade ko noon, average, 89.5. Pag ground off, 90. So, it means eligible ako sa honor. So, grade, first quarter, 88, second quarter, 89, third quarter, 90, tapos fourth quarter, 91. Oh my God, ganun. Happiest moment siya of my life. Kasi, na-realize ko na, wait, kaya ko naman pala mag-excel. Kumbaga, ang difference lang is yung mentality na, wait, hindi ko na to kaya. Kumbaga, okay na yan. Mind you during this time, addicted pa ako sa video games. Like, most sa time ko, nag-revolve pa sa video games, pero ang difference lang, naging conscious ako sa mga scores ko na kapag mataas, super happy ako. Tapos kapag mababa, super sad ako. Tapos, yung anchor point ko, si Lance tapos si Angel, sila yung parang yung parang target, sabi ko, dapat parehas yung score ko sa kanila. Tapos, kapag mataas konti sa kanila, masaya ako. Tapos kapag mababa sa kanila, sasad ako. Yan. Kumbaga, meron akong role model. Pangalawa, lagi ako na nagpipray. Kasi conscious na ako sa mga scores ko. Kapag may quiz, Lord, sana mataas yung score na makuha ko. Ganon. Tapos, pangatlo, is, after class, binubuklat ko yung notebook ko. Binabasa ko lang yung parang ni-lesson. Although, hindi ko masabi na parang high yield to. Kasi parang low yield lang. Pero at very least, that action has a result. Although, very low lang yung parang yung reward niya. But still, ito yung parang difference. Kasi compared nung grade 3, grade 4, grade 5 na, pagka-uwi, video games na agad. Ang difference lang, pagka-uwi ko, open ko lang yung notebook ko, tapos, binabasa ko lang, tapos laro na. Tapos, pang-apat is kapag merong mga projects, parang naging conscious ako na inisip ko, wait, paano ko ito mapapaganda itong output na to? Yan lang yung apat na difference na ginawa ko compared nung grade 3, grade 4, grade 5. And ang result, naka 90. Yan. Mind you, grade 6 to, and during this time, mahirap pang maka-with honors. What more pa kaya during this time period? Kasi, I realized na during this time period, super dali lang maka-with honors compared sa struggle namin nung ilang taon na ba yon? Mga 7 years ago, ganon. Grade 6. High school days. Woo! Dito ko masabi na parang dito na nag-start na slowly but surely, naging seryoso na ako sa ACADS. Mag-start tayo sa grade 7. Pre-quarter days. So, di ba nakwento ko na naglipat kami ng bahay? So, from Triangulo to Concepcion, Pequeña, Compact. So, during this time, laki-lala ko yung mga pinsan ko. May si Ate Bea, si Kuya Roy, si Ate Marian, si Ate Donna. So masabi natin na after class, most sa mga nakaka-hangout ko is sila. Tapos, wala pa ako ng idea kasi separate yung school namin. Ang alam ko lang, yeah, magaling sila sa ACADS, pero every time na parang meron kaming nag-uusap kami, meron kaming banding, hindi ko naman nahalata na matalino sila. So, bale, ganun. So, pre-quarter days. So, short story, segue ito. So, during this time, dapat sa City Science sana ako. So, naga City Science High School. Kasi, with honor ako nun eh. Pero, since si ate is, nag-ano na siya sa, contact, yung malapit sa bahay namin na high school. Sinabi na ama, doon na daw ako mag-high school kasi malapit lang naman. Tapos, kasama ko si ate. Yeah. So, masasabi ko na, ang pag-aral ko sa Contact, Concepcion Pequeña National High School, is really blessing in disguise. Although, gusto ko sa City Sci, pero doon ako napadpad. Kasi, I realized na entering this school allow me to realize my full potential. Kasi compared doon sa City Sci, yes, surrounded ka ng mga talino, pero never ako, if I look back, parang hindi ako mabibigyan ng chance para mag-shine. So, dahil sa Contact, nagkaroon ako ng chance para mag-shine. Tapos ma-realize ko na, ay, kaya ko pala to. Yeah, so, another realization, school have a huge factor. Depending on your circumstances. Pero yung school talaga has a huge factor when it comes to utilizing or showing your full potential. Yeah. So, grade 7. So, yung mga pinsan ko is ahead sa akin ng 1 year and 2 year. Sa atin doon, mga 4 years ata yun or 6 years. Ganun. So, grade 7, di ba naglipat na ako sa school. So, during this time, parang laging aware ako na yung pinsan ko pala is kilala sa campus na one of the bright student. Kumbaga, kilala sila na laging nagtatop 1 or laging kasali sa honors. More especially, lalo sa atin doon na batch valedictorian. Tapos si Ate Bea na laging top 1. Tapos si Kuya Roy, tapos si Ate Maria na laging with honors. So, during this time, katulad ni Lance, tapos katulad ni Angel, nagkaroon ako ng thought na, wait, since kakilala ko to, what if I also became a type of person na katulad nila? Especially since wala pa naman nakakakilala sa akin sa school na to. As in, wala akong kaklase na nasa school na yon. So, bale, parang meron akong new identity. Tapos, since walang nakakilala sa akin, nagkaroon ng thoughts na, wait, what if maging katulad ako nila? Yan. So, during this time, naging conscious ako. Tapos, I changed my strategy when it comes to studying. So, by this time, trial and error pa. Kung ano ba yung mag-stick sa akin, kung ano ba yung hindi mag-stick sa akin. So, ito yung ginawa ng younger self ko based from what I remember. So, similar nung grade 6 ako. After class, yung notebook, bubuksan ko yan. Tapos, babasahin ko yan. Yan lang, it's very simple, di ba? Tapos, kapag may quiz, for example, the next day, ginagawa ko niyan after ko makauwi, bubuksan ko yung notebook, tapos kapag may definition, or kapag mayroong important information, tinatakpan ko yan. Like, buksan ko ng notebook, tapos, ipipikit ko yung mata ko, tapos, tatakpan ko yan. Tapos, makikita ko yan yung definition. Tapos, based from definition, ano ba yung sagot? Kung parang ganon na approach na, parang flashcard siya, pero original version ng flashcard. Tapal method, takip method, gano'n. So, bubuksan yung notebook, pipikit yung mata, tapos gano'n. Tapos slowly, wait, anong sagot nito? Ganun pala. Tapos gano'n. So, instead na parang nagbabasa lang ako, ginagawa ko, parang meron na siyang quiz na, kasi tinatakpan ko yung important information. Yan. Tapos, kapag merong memorization, yung as in, yung parang super haba na hindi kayang definition lang, ang ginagawa ko nun, ang difference lang is, binabasa ko siya. Tapos, sinusulat ko sa papel. Tapos, after ko isulat sa papel, itatry ko ulit siyang isulat, pero hindi na ako nakatingin doon. Like, wala na. Tapos, during this time, until makaya kong isulat sa papel na hindi tumitingin sa notebook, hindi ako titigil. Yan lang yung way ko para makamemorize ko ng mahahaba. Ganun. Tapos, when it comes to mathematics, ang ginagawa ko lang doon na very different sa ginagawa ko nung parang parang nasa elementary, is nag-a-advance lang akong advanced viewing. Yung tawag ko, advanced viewing. Bakit siya advanced viewing? Kasi, ang ginagawa ko lang, kasi, before mag-start yung quarter, kasi, di ba, exam by quarter, first quarter, second quarter, third quarter, fourth quarter. Before mag-start yung quarter, ginagawa ko is, pupunta ako sa YouTube, tapos research ko, grade 7, mathematics, playlist. Tapos doon ko na-discover yung channel ni Senyor Pablo TV. Tapos ginagawa ko noon, before mag-start ng quarter, nag-binge watch ako. Like, kung ano yung topic, ko lang, parang pinapanood ko lang from start to finish until maubos ko yung video sa playlist. Ko noon, mga from quarter 1 to quarter 4, merong 40 plus na video. Tapos ginagawa ko noon, yung mga first 15, first 20, pinapanood ko yan kasi matik quarter to quarter 2 na yan. So, nalala ko noon, grade 7, first time kong pinanood yung YouTube channel, yung mga YouTube video. Like, what? Alam mo yung feeling na, although pinanood ko, wala akong naiintindihan ni isa. Yan. Pero, despite that, pinanood ko lang. Kasi sabi ko, i-familiarize ko lang. Tapos, ang pa rin is, naka times 2 speed pa. So, mabilis na yung pagsalita. Tapos, ang importante noon, during that time, is, nag-advance watch lang ako, kahit hindi ko naiintindihan. Pero, ang ginawa ko, although hindi ko naiintindihan, tinatry kong i-familiarize yung mga sinusulat ng mga numbers, sinusulat ng mga formula. Yan lang. Wala akong expectation na matutunan ko kaagad. Ang importante lang, ma-familiarize, kahit hindi ko nagigets. Yan. Tapos, ito yung na-realize ko. When I was grade 3, grade 4, until grade 6, nag-struggle ako sa math. Especially kapag tuturo yung teacher. Alam mo yung feeling na, di ba, nag-lesson yung teacher, tapos, wala ka naintindihan ni isa, like, nakatunganga ka lang sa board. Like, wait, ano na nanggaganap? Kasi, for example, sinulat sa board, hindi mo nagigets, tapos, tinry mo sa notebook. Pagtingin mo, mahaba na yung sinulat ng teacher, tapos, wala kang nagigets ni isa. Ganun yun yung parang na-experience ko nun sa math. Pero, weirdly, when I was grade 7, di ba, nag-advance watch na ako ng mga YouTube channel. When the teacher taught, kapag nagturo na yung teacher sa klase, weird realization is that, meron, imbes na hindi ko siya magigets, ang naisip ko is, wait, parang familiar to. Ito yung pinanood ko dati. Like, instead na nakatunga nga lang ako, parang meron akong realization na, wait, parang napanood ko na to before. At dahil doon, parang naging curious ako, tapos, at the same time, mas madali kong nag-gets yung lesson in classroom. So, yung purpose ng advanced watching is not to master it kaagad, but to have a familiarization so that when the teacher start teaching it in classroom, madali mo nang magigets yung lesson. And since madali mo nang magets yung lesson, mas makaka-focus ka na sa mas importanteng bagay. Either yung mga quiz sa mathematics or quiz sa other things. Kumbaga, you save time understanding the lesson. Ito yung parang importante doon. Tapos, isa pa sa realization ko doon, since madali ko nang magets yung lesson sa math, parang naging confident ako. Naging confident ako sa subject na yon. In fact, yung mga grade ko noon sa mathematics, for the first time, laging 95, 96, 97, 98, 99. Tapos, lagi ko na pinapasali sa MTOP. Yan. Isa yun sa mga advice ko, advanced watching. Tapos, isa pa sa different things na ginawa ko before when I was elementary is that, since, di ba, yung cousin ko is ahead sa akin ng 1 year tapos 2 year. Dahil doon, meron akong access sa exam paper. Like, binibigay nila sa akin yung exam paper nila. Tapos, aside pa doon, meron pa ako ng yung 3 year ahead sa amin, si Kuya Corb, si Kuya Edward, si Kuya Kenneth, ganun. I can say, having the past exam paper, especially for the last 3 years, is a game changer. Why? Why did I say it is a game changer? Kasi, ito yung na-realize ko. Exam paper is the high yield, high result thing. Kasi, di ba 50 items yan? Matik, yung mga key ideas, almost similar lang. Compared, especially kapag tig-compare mo na yung last 3 year, last 2 year, last 3 year na past paper. Kapag na yung exam, ito yung na-realize ko. 50 to 80% ng mga item is similar lang sa mga question nung last year, last year, last year. Although ang iba doon is parang nakaparaphrase, pero yung key ideas is similar lang. Tapos na-realize ko pa nga kasi sa past exam paper, meron doong mga question na hindi itinuro ng teacher. Pero since alam ko na kasi meron ng past exam paper, alam ko na yung sagot. Alam yung experience na may exam tapos wait, day man initinukdo ng teacher, hindi na matitinuro ng teacher. Pero since ako, meron ako access sa past exam paper, nakita ko na before ang tamang answer. So, although hindi siya tinuro, pero since na-study ko na siya before, confident ako sa sagot ko. At dahil doon, sa past exam paper, yung parang exam score ko, di ba, out of 50, lagi siyang 40 plus. Well, except sa ESP. Kasi, ESP talaga, super hirap ng ESP. Like, yan lang yung, yung subject na never akong naka-line of 9. Lagi lang siyang 88, gano'n. Pero, yan. Ito yung different things na ginawa ko. So, yeah. Ano pang ma-advise ko? Magsimula tayo sa quarter 1. Yun, na parang napahaba na yung discussion natin. Magsimula tayo sa quarter 1. So, ito yung sinulat ko dito. So, quarter 1, I was really shocked during this time kasi for the first time, yung grade ko is 91. And yung rank ko nun, out of 10, rank 1 to rank 10, rank 3 ako, top 3. Like, for the first time, parang na-feel ko, like, wow, kaya ko naman pala. Ganun. Kumbaga, during this moment kasi sinasabi nun, hindi naman the big deal yung mga ranking na yan. Pero, when I was grade 7, grade 8, very big deal yung ranking kasi super hirap like isipin mo, out of 200 students sa batch nyo, ang maka with honor lang yun, mga 20, mga 15, minsan nga 10, ganon. So, ganon na kahirap nun, maka with honors. Kumbaga, very challenging. Compared to nowadays na out of 200 na batch, kalahati, minsan nga 150 yung maka with honors. Ganon. Yeah. Weird realization lang. Yeah. Sabi ko na, parang yung standard. Pero, I think it's also a good thing kasi mas madali ka nang maka-honor nowadays. Pero anyways, it's just my personal observation na. Okay. Quarter 2. So, during this time, since, diba, for the first time, nakatap to ako. So, during this time, because of my performance ng last quarter, talagang nag-effort ako. Nasabi ko, I will really do my best studies. Although, I still play video games, particularly Clash of Clans, pero na-notice ko na yung time na I spend playing video games lessen drastically. Kumbaga, nami-minimize yung time na ginugugol ko sa video games kasi mas nagiging priority ko na yung pag-aral. Yan. Like for example, kapag may quiz, talagang the night before, I will spend 1 to 2 hours until ma-memorize ko yon. Paano yung way ko para i-memorize? The same lang sa dati, yung takip method, tapos kapag merong mahawang i-memorize, isulat ko siya sa notes until confident na ako. Yan yung difference. Tapos kapag may exam, as in talaga, buong araw, mag-aaral ako sa exam na yun. So, nalala ko noon na I still have the habit when I was grade 6 na every my exam or every my quiz, talaga naging pray ako ng kay Lord. Like, sabi ko, Lord, sana po mataas yung score na makuha ko, gano'n. Kung maganda dahil doon, parang big deal sa akin yung mga scores na kapag mataas yung score na ako, masaya ako. Tapos kapag mababa, parang sad ako, babawi ako next time, gano'n. And, during this time, masabi ko na, since nag-improve na yung score ko sa academics, parang nag-improve na rin yung confidence ko. Now, we'll move to quarter 3. Grade 7 pa lang to hindi pa tayo sa grade 12. Yan, quarter 3. So, I remember this moment, sinali ako nun sa since yung, di ba sinabi ko, ang ginawa ko lang nun sa math is like advanced viewing. Dahil doon, madali ko naintindihan yung lesson and madali kong nakuha yung mga quiz, mataas yung mga scores ko. At lang, break. Continuation. Yan. So, quarter 3. So, I remember during this moment, isinali ko lang mga teacher namin sa MTOP. Kumbaga, isipin mo yung MTOP, parang, yan yung parang competition in terms of math, where yung mga different schools magko-compete During this time, I feel na super kabada ako. Kasi I know to myself na although mataas yung score ko sa mga quizzes sa math, yung foundation ko nung elementary is very weak compared sa ibang mga classmates ko. Kumbaga, sa section namin, merong tatlong math wizard. Ako, although magaling ako sa math, pero I don't consider myself as one. Yung isa, si Kevin, tapos yung isa, si Dustin. Si Dustin yung parang math wizard namin na talagang super galing when it comes to mathematics. Yeah, although super kabado ako na sa MTOP kasi ito yung parang first talagang official event na school. We still manage na makaano sa elimination round. Makapasok kami sa elimination round. Tapos makapasok kami sa division. Naalala ko ng score namin is 11, 11, 13. 11 ako noon, si Dustin 13, si Kevin 11. Out of 50 yun out of 50 items. Tapos nakapasok yung score namin sa elimination round. So ano nata yun? Parang top 8, top 10, or top 12, ganon. So, during this time, naka-advance kami nun sa division round. Tapos, I still do the old routine. Old routine when it comes to studying mathematics. Advanced viewing. Pero, hindi siya sapat. Kasi, alam yung score namin sa division. Kasi, sa division, ako at si Kevin, kami yung parang participants lang. Tapos, ito yung parang shameful event sa buhay ko. Kasi, for the first time sa competition, yung score namin sa division round, 0. Like, ina-admit ka, for the first time, na when I was grade 7 to grade 12, never ko ito binanggit sa mga classmates ko kasi nakakahiya talaga siya. Pero yung score namin ng grade 7 sa MTOP, 0. So, I remember doon na ako tapos si Kevin, super nahihiya kami noon. And we just laugh and joke. Sinasabi namin, sa buong history ng MTOP, kami yung kauna-unahang nakascore ng 0. Like, imagine, all schools in Naga City compete. And you represent yung school nanyo. Tapos yung score ninyo, lowest score possible. So, during this time, super depressed ako nun sa mathematics. So, sinabi ko, next year, babawi ako next year. So, looking back, if there are things that I can do better, sabi natin, mas second year college, mabalik ako sa grade 7 days ko. Things that I would do different kapag sa Laos MTOP is that instead na mag-focus ako sa tinuturo sa classroom, I will focus to study way beyond that. Particularly, mag-search ako sa internet, MTOP reviewer, MTOP past questions. Kasi, different yung itinuturo sa classroom and different din yung mga lumalabas sa mga exam or sa mga parang mga competition. So, instead of just focusing sa notebook ko, mag-focus ako sa resources online. Yan yung different na gagawin ko. Okay, let's move on dyan sa mga MTOP na yan, sa 0 points na yan. We will proceed to the quarter 4. So, during this time, quarter 4, I remembered, I have this anxiety na sinasabi ko, hala, magi-grade 8 na ako. Baka maging mahirap yung mga subjects ko. Like, grade 7 ka, tapos ina-expect mo kapag grade 8 ka, super hirap na yung mga subject nyo. Tapos, if I could give advice as a second year college student, I would say, bro, chillax. Sisiw lang yung mga subject dyan. Kapag nag-college ka, mas mahirap yan. Okay, we will now move on. Grade 8. Grade 8, siguro na to. 2020, 2021, before the pandemic era. Yan. So, after grade 7, it was established na ako, si Dustin, si Kevin, yung mga math wizards sa section namin. Grade 8. So, since alam ko sa sarili ko na hindi naman talaga magaling sa math, ang ginagawa ko lang, old routine, advanced viewing. So, nalala ko noon, buong bakasyon. Sabi natin mga 2 weeks before mag-start yung klase. Ang ginawa ko lang noon, pumunta ko sa YouTube, search ko, Senyor Pablo TV, grade 8 mathematics. As ginawa ko noon, parang 40 plus ata yung video niya. From video 1 until last video, pinanood ko yung lahat, tapos naka-times 2 speed. So, ang goal ko lang noon is hindi maintindihan yung lesson, kundi para ma-familiarize yung lesson. Yeah, same old routine. Nalala ko noon na ito yung pag-advance viewing, super boring. Boring siya na kalahati pa lang ng video, napapatulog na ako. Like, nanonood kasi ako ng advanced viewing. Mag-video, parang pinapanood ko yung video, nakahiga ako sa kwarto. Tapos, nag-play yung video, tapos mapapansin ko niyan, nakapikit na ako yan, tulog na ako niyan. Yan. Parang weird realization kasi kapag nag-play ka ng video games, alive na alive ka. Pero kapag nag-aaral ka na, yan, nakakaantok. Yeah. Sabi natin, during this na mind you, although nalasan na yung pag-ano ko ng video games, pero part pa rin siya ng buhay ko. Sabi natin mga 1 to 2 hours a day video games. Ganon. So start ng class, grade 8, same realization pa rin na akala ko mahirap yung math sa grade 8, pero na-realize ko na, wait, parang familiar to. Since nag-advanced viewing na ako, parang madali ko na nag-gets yung mga lesson. Yan. Alam niyo yung parang feeling na deja vu. Kasi kapag sinusulat ang teacher sa blackboard, yung process, parang maisip mo sa sarili mo na, wait, parang familiar to. Yun. So, during this time, very grateful ako sa pag-advance watch ng YouTube channel. Kasi, kahit super boring. Kasi, dahil doon, madali ko na-gets yung math lesson. And dahil doon, mas nakaka-focus ako mapag-aralan yung ibang mga subjects. During this time, sabi natin yung grade ko noon ata is 93 ata, 94. Ganon. Talagang tumaas yon since nag-improve na yung performance ko sa math, tapos naka-focus na ako dun sa ibang subjects. One of the memorable thing when I was grade 8, nalala ko noon, second quarter recognition. So, second quarter recognition, 94 ata yung grade ko noon. Tapos, during recognition, meron akong idol. Ang pangalan niya, si Kuya Corb. Si Kuya Edward. Si Kuya Corb, ano siya noon, grade 10. Tapos, kumbaga, sa buong recognition, isa siya lang ata, tapos si Kuya Kenneth, tapos, isa siya sa limang student na naka-with high. Sa school kasi namin, bibihira yung maka-with highest, tapos maka-with high, bihira din. Like, sabi natin, never yun maglalagpas sa 10, ang maka-with high. With highest, never yan maglalagpas sa 5. Ganon. Pero sa pag-graduate, wala pang nakagraduate sa amin na with highest. Lagi lang 97. Ganon. So, I remember during the second quarter recognition, I can say that this is the most memorable moment of our lives. Kasi, ang ginawa ko noon is, parang kinaibigan ko siya. Tapos, sabi ko, Kuya Corb, tara, luglog kita. Yan, luglog tayo, ganon. Tapos, di ba sabay ko nagduglog? Ang ginawa ko noon, since ako, si Kuya Corb, si Kuya Edward, ginawa ko noon, humingi ako ng advice. Like, humingi ako ng advice kung, sabi ko, Kuya Corb, paano ka nagiging with high honors? Anong ginagawa mo? Tapos, parang weirdly, kapag nag-ask ka ng advice sa mga upper freshmen, yung mga ahead sa inyo, kapag naghingi ka ng advice, tutulungan ka nila. Pero kapag naghingi ka ng advice sa classmates mo, never ka nila tutulungan. Parang weird realization lang. So, nalala ko noon, di ba, parang nag-ask ko ng advice kay Kuya Corb, kay Kuya Edward. Tapos, ito lang yung sinabi niya sa akin. Sabi niya daw, every time may quiz daw, ang goal ni Kuya Corb is 1 to 3 mistakes lang. Yan lang, yung sinabi niya. Kapag may quiz daw, either 1 to 10 yan, 1 to 20, 1 to 30, ang goal niya lang daw, 1 to 3 mistake. So ako, yan yung parang naging standard ko, sabi ko. Every time may quiz, pinapray ko, Lord, sana 1 to 3 mistake lang, 1 to 3 mistake lang. Kapag bumaba doon, sad ako noon daw. Kapag mataas doon, syempre happy. Yan. Tapos, yes, since seryoso ko yun, seryoso ko talaga yun, yung advice na yun. Tapos, ito yung parang fun part. Kasi, since na-implement yung parang advice na yun, actually, hindi lang ito applicable sa quiz, kapag merong mga projects, sabi ko na, Lord, sana 1 to 3 mistake lang, gano'n. So, ang goal mo lang, out of 100, mga 97, 98, gano'n. Since na-employ ko yung tactic na yun, nung grade 8, nung nag-third quarter na, nakapasok ako sa with high honor for the first time. Like, 95 for the first time. Sa buong batch namin, ako yung naging top 1 for the first time. Naging 95. Yan. So, during this time, super happy ako noon. Tapos, merong MTOP, sabi ko. Sabi sinabi ko noon, babawi ako. Super happy, ginalingan ko. So, nagka-MTOP ulit. Nagka-MTOP. Alam niyo yung score ko sa MTOP? 13 out of 50. Tapos yung dalawang Matwizard, yung score nila, yung si Kevin, 11. Tapos si Dustin, 8 over 50. So, in short, hindi kami nakapasok sa division round. Sabi ko, sayang. Pero, weirdly out of 50, 13 yung score namin. Tapos, yung mga Ateneo, yung mga Kararayan, yung score nila, 26, 27, 28. Ganun kahirap yung MTOP. Ganun. Tapos, di ba nasad ako noon kasi, sayang, sabi ko, babawi ako next year. Pero sadly, nung fourth quarter, nag-lockdown dahil sa pandemic. Yeah, so super saya na sana namin noon. Kasi sabi namin, 1 month lang to na lockdown. Tapos ano nangyari? Naging 3-year na lockdown. So this will lead us to the next part, which is grade 9 to grade 10, the pandemic era days. So, what I see different during this time is yung mga study habits, study techniques ko nung grade 7, grade 8, hindi na siya applicable nung grade 9, grade 10. Kasi mostly modular yung ginagamit namin. But one thing that I did different that I still do today is nagkaroon ako ng parang concept na time block. Time block is a simple term for parang scheduling. Particularly, ang ginagawa ko noon, nag-open lang ako noon ng nag-open lang ako ng Google Calendar. Like for example, ganito. Ang gagawin ko noon, 'di ba? Release ng module. Tapos merong calendar. Ang ginagawa ko noon is parang nag-schedule lang ako ng gagawin ko. Like for example, sinasabi ko like 9 to 11:30, I will do math module. 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., I will do science module. Ganun lang. Although hindi siya detailed, but it helps me to stay organized and to keep track kung kaya pa ba ng tapusin to within this week. So, dito ko rin experience na kapag hindi ko nagigets yung math module, pinapanood ko lang yung YouTube channel ni Senior Pablo TV. So, tapos aside pa doon, since uso yung parang reflection sa module, yung essay, tapos mga poster, very common yun, like every week merong ganun. So, na-force ako na aralin yun. So, ito yung ginawa ko. Since noon, hindi pa ako marunong magsulat ng essay structure, ang ginawa ko is, nag-search ako sa YouTube. Ang sinearch ko sa YouTube is, how to create an effective essay. Trust me. When writing an essay, the only thing that you need to do is to know how to create an outline. Once you know how to create an outline, you can almost think of any ideas and plug in sa outline mo. Yan ang different thing na ginawa ko. Compared sa paggawa ko ng essay na hindi siya structured na kung ano naisip ko, sulat ko lang. Ang difference is meron akong outline, intro, body, conclusion. Sa intro, ano yung hook statement, ano yung parang background, ano yung thesis statement. Sa body, ano yung thesis statement, ano yung parang supporting evidence, ano yung parang contradictory, etc. Once you know how to create a basic outline, creating draft and refining the essay is very easy. Tapos, kapag drawing naman, actually, hindi ako talented sa pag-draw. Pero one thing that I did different during this time is, nagbili ako ng oil pastel. As in, parang siyang crayon, pero matingkad yung kulay. Tapos, drawing pen. Trust me, the best investment ever. Kasi, although hindi ako magaling mag-draw, ang ginagawa ko lang is, merong bond paper, tapos meron yung laptop, pinapaskill lang yun, tapos tinatala ko lang yung parang drawing. Tapos, kapag may oil pastel, kinukulayan ko. Tapos, dahil doon, mas nagiging creative siya. Although hindi ako creative, pero yung output ko mas nagiging creative. Yun. Dahil doon, nakaraos. Tapos, mataas yung score na ko kasi matingkad yung kulay. Basta oil pastel, ganun. Grade 10 days. Basically, dito ko discover yung concept ng self-improvement. So, basically, yung concept ng self-improvement is do less of the bad habits and do more of the good habits, particularly delayed gratification. So, ang idea kasi dito is, yung actions natin today, ang effect niya is nagko-compound. For example, nag-yosi ka. Wala kang side effect ng feel ngayon for the next years. Pero as year went by, after 1 decade, 2 decade, 3 decade, yung effect niya is nagko-compound, nagkaganon. Yan. So, if ganun yung effect sa bad habits, ang idea ng delayed gratification is do the good habits. Although wala kang mafe-feel na effect for 1 year, 2 year, 3 year, pero after 5 year, 10 year, you will feel the compound effect. Particularly, yung core habits lang naman na in-apply ko lang is magbabasa ng libro, kahit anong libro na parang feel mo makatulong sa buhay mo. Meditation, gratitude journal, exercise. So, different type, pero yung nire-recommend doon usually is weightlifting. So, ang ginawa ko lang noon is nag-start ako lang very small. Tapos, after 1 month na yung consistent, slowly, you increase the duration. Tapos, naalala ko noon, para maging consistent, meron ako ng checklist sa wall. Like, for example, meron akong bond paper, tapos nakalagay doon, read, meditate, gratitude journal, exercise, tapos nakapastil yan dito. Tapos, everyday, meron nag-check ako niyan until part na siya ng daily habits mo. Yan. So, doing this as part of morning routine helps set up the day and creates momentum. Although, this just takes around 1 to 2 hours, pero masasabi ko na, good siya, kasi it makes your life have sense of purpose. Nalala ko pa noon, I also buy kitchen timer. Yan, kitchen timer. So, whenever I study or do the module, I do it for 25 minutes, rest for 5 minutes. Parang Pomodoro, like, kinakopy ko lang yung parang, yung key ideas doon. Tapos, repeat it 4 times, tapos natutulog ako dyan. Tapos, paghapon naman, another session. So, there are setbacks noon. Pero, I realized that having kitchen timer talaga siya. Like, example, 25 minutes, tapos mag-gas ako ng 5 minutes. Yan. Parang, dahil doon, na-realize ko na naiiwasan yung parang burnout. Kasi 25 minutes is just feels a blink of an eye, especially kapag nakafocus ka sa ginagawa mo. Yung 25 minutes yun, super dali lang yan. Pero since parang nabibitin ka, parang na-feel mo na, wait, parang kaya ko pa mag-aral. Ganun. So, tapos, isa pa nun, na-realize ko na, di ba, sinabi ko na meron akong parang outline, meron akong, parang schedule. Na-realize ko na, although nag-set ako ng schedule, hindi siya masusunod 100%. Siguro mga 20 to 50%, pero still, tap your shoulder. Kasi, it is a good progress. It's a huge progress compared sa hindi structured na araw. Tapos pala, isa sa mga na-realize ko nun is whenever I feel demotivated sa module, kasi sipin mo, for almost 2 years, tapos every week merong module, tapos parang hindi na uubos yung module. Whenever I feel demotivated, sinasabi ko sa sarili ko, 5 minutes, magana ko ng 5 minutes. Gagawin ko tong module na to in 5 minutes. Kukunin ko yung kitchen timer, 5 minutes, tapos gagawin ko lang. Nasa realize ko na once I start doing the module, tapos taubos din 5 minutes, parang merong kang momentum. Like, sinasabi mo na, wait, madali lang pala to. Sige, tapusin ko na to kaagad. Ganon. So, whenever I do not like doing something, I just grab my kitchen timer, tapos mag-set ako ng 5 minutes. Yan lang, 5-minute rule. Tapos kapag ayaw ko talaga, like, masakit yung ulo ko, demotivated talaga, matutulog na lang ako niyan. Ganon. So, dahil dito sa mga dahil sa mga small adjustments, kasi compared sa mga classmates ko noon, masabi natin na parang yung yung pandemic era ko is parang productive, more structured siya compared sa mga classmates ko noon na gagawin lang mga Saturday, Sunday para kinakraming yung output. Since ako, parang Friday pa lang tapos ko na yung module, parang meron akong time para manood ng mga self-improvement videos. Tapos, nalala ko noong grade 10, I graduated as valedictorian. So, I really feel grateful for it. Like, kasi during that time, 2 kami naka-with high honors sa buong grade 10 na batch. I think 95.1 ako no. Ako 95.1, tapos yung top 2 is 94.5. Yeah. So, ganun kahirap sa school namin. Or during that time, ganun kahirap maka with high honors. Like, sa buong batch, 2 lang yung with high honors. Tapos the rest, with honor. Ganun. Tapos, ito yung nasabi ko. I will tell you. Valedictorian title. This title will definitely make you proud and happy. But after few days, few weeks, few months, your life will return to its normal daily routine. Kumbaga, masabi mo na yung happiness na yon temporary lang. Kumbaga, ito yung realization na do not base your happiness based on the end result. Kasi, if your entire life is just dedicated na, gagamit ako valedictorian, sana maging top 1 ako, ganon. Buong buhay mo, nakafocus ka lang doon. Once you reach that end goal, parang feel mo na empty siya. Kasi, yung title na yon, wala, title lang yon. Although it will make you happy, but after few months, wala. Hindi ka na magiging happy. Back to day 1. Back to normal life. So, instead of basing your happiness sa title, sa end result, what's better is just base your happiness on doing the right thing every day. Doing things that make you happy every day. Yan. Senior high school days. Yan, malapit na tayong matapos. Senior high school days. So, mag-start tayo nung grade 11 ako. Pre-high school days, pre-senior high school days. So, di ba sinabi ko, nag-graduate ako ng valedictorian. So, during this time, shifting na from module to face-to-face. During this time, na-pressure ako. Sabi ko na, during grade 10, I really perform well. And I have this imposter syndrome. Like, sabi ko sa sarili ko na, wait, can I do it again? So, what I did different during grade 11 is that I searched to the internet. Ang search ko ng best and effective study techniques, study habits. As in, lahat ng video na makita ko sa YouTube, pinanood ko yung lahat. And I think having knowledge or being aware of different study habits, study techniques helped me in my grade 11 days. Like for example, grade 11 math. So, the same siya sa before. So, grade 11 math, the same strategy lang. Yung, I watch a lot of YouTube math tutorials before class para madali ko maintindihan yung lesson. Pero, things that I did different is that I start to use flashcard using a application called Anki. Particularly, Anki is a space repetition-based flashcard na kapag tama ka sa sagot mo, mag-appear siya after 1 day. Kapag tama, after 3 days. Kapag tama, after 5 days. After tama, after 7 days. After 14, after 21 days, so on and so forth. Tapos kapag mali, back to day 1 until 3, ganon. Another thing, aside from flashcard, time block. Pero dito, detailed na and more specific. Kumbaga, nalala ko nun, since yung klase ko nun nung grade 11, from 7:30 or 8 until 5 p.m. So, naalala ko nun, after class, 5:30 to 6, kapag nakauwi na ako sa bahay, ang first thing na gagawin ko nun is mag-create ako ng flashcard. Yan lang. Ang different thing, nung ginawa ko nung grade 7 compared sa grade 11, kung before, bubuklatin ko lang yung notebook ko, basahin ko lang. Ang ginagawa ko, bubuklatin ko yung notebook, kung anong sinulat ko, ita-transfer ko sa flashcard. Ita-transfer ko sa cellphone. Gagawa ko ng flashcard. Yan. Tapos, yung mga nagawa kong flashcard, i-review ko siya early in the morning. I remember, during this time, I wake up 4:30. Tapos, 4:30 to 5, morning routine. Tapos, 5 to 5:30, flashcard. Yan yung different. Early morning ako nag-aaral. Early morning ako nag-review ng lesson. Early morning ako nag-review para ng quiz. Pero, kumbaga, I make a daily routine, daily schedule. Although, I admit, not 100% masusunod ito. There are days na minsan 25% lang. There are days na minsan 50, 75%. Pero, what's more important is you create a structure in your day. Kasi, compared to having a structure to unstructured, although you just do 25%, it is still better than doing nothing the whole day. Diba? Doing something, even if it's just 25%, is much better than doing nothing at all. Yan. As another thing na I did different is I have morning and evening routine. So kapag morning, meditate, magbabasa ako ng libro, gratitude journal, goal visualization. Ito yung different thing na ginawa ko. Meron akong goal visualization. So during this time, nakapaskil yan sa talagang sa ano, nakapaskil yan dito sa in Bicol terms, lanob. Nakapaskil yan sa lanob. Tapos nakalagay doon, 2022 goal, 2023 goal, 2024 goal. Tapos everyday, talagang nakafocus lang ako dyan. Pagkagising ko, tinitignan ko yan kung ano yung goal ko. Tapos sinasabi ko, during this time, makaka-with highest honor ako. Yan. What is the good thing about goal visualization is that it makes you have a purpose. It makes you have a set clear direction kung ano ba yung gusto mo. And during this time, having goal is just a guide. So that when you plan your day, you will have a basis. Wait, sabi ko, gusto ko maka-with highest honor. So, early morning, maadal ako. Gusto ko matapos ining libro na eh. So, after class, babasa ako during this time period. So, having a clear set of schedule is probably the result of having a clear goal. Kung ano ba yung gusto mo. Another thing na ginawa ko different before is nag-join ako ng school organization, particularly the SSLG, yung Supreme Student Government. One thing that na I think wrong mindsets that most kasi sa mga matatalino sa amin, tinasabi nila na, ay, pag nagbala akong org, mayo na akong time sa pagklase. Yan yung sinasabi nila. Pero, one thing that I would argue based on my experience is that yes, mababawasan kang oras, but since nabawasan kang oras, you will have to think critically on how to effectively maximize your time. Ito yung experience ko kasi. Before, I have the same mindset sa iniisip nila, na sasabi nila na, ay, school org, sayang lang yan ng oras. Pero, once I join org, akala ko noon, bababa yung performance ko sa school. Pero, different thing talaga what's different things that yung school org although it consume your time, it will help you to strategically think on how to utilize your time properly. Na instead naggugulin mo yung oras mo kakascroll sa YouTube, sa Facebook, sa video games, you will have to think na, wait, sayang tong oras na to. What if ilaan ko to sa pag-aral? Ganon. Since it makes you super busy, it helps you to utilize your time, which in turn avoid the instances of wasting your time. It helps you to properly manage your time, and especially once you are already a president in a school organization. For example, science club, or for example, the SSLD, you're the president of the school organization. It will make you to think critically on how to use your time. Nalala ko noon, when I was SSLG president, I had this thought na, wait, if I retain my old habit of playing video games 1 to 2 hours a day, I will have less time studying. So, ang ginawa ko na, sacrifice ko yung video game ko. So, wala na akong video game. So, ang time ko lang noon is school org, tapos pag-aral. And I can say, since school org parang consumes a lot of time, parang I have this moment na after class, mag-aral talaga ako agad niyan. Kasi yung iniisip ko lang noon is, wait, sayang yung oras. Yan. And another thing that I did different when I was grade 11 is that I practiced a conversation skills, particularly confidence. I read a lot of books on how to properly communicate to other person, how to be more confident in front of crowd. Trust me, having conversation skills will make your school life more lively. So, since grade 11, from pandemic era to face-to-face era, tapos sinabayan pa yung parang concept ng self-improvement, and I practice a lot of conversation skills. When I was grade 11, I was known to be a type of confident and famous type sa school namin kasi whenever I go out, I always practice on how to speak to a lot of people. Particularly, during the first few months, di ba, mga stranger pa, wala pa yung mga circle of friends. Ang ginagawa ko lang, I just converse with them. Right here, right now, ano yung naisip mo? For example, when I walk around the campus, tapos nakita ko silang naglalaro ng Rubik's Cube, ginagawa ko lang, mag-approach na ako niyan, kasi sabi ko, ilang month na kayo naglalaro ng Rubik's Cube? Yan. Right here, right now, no need to overthink on how to properly speak. Okay, for example, kapag may nakita akong student for example, meron akong nakitang student na part ng org, parang i-ask ko sila, wait, anong organization part ka? Like, tapos, basta, when you speak to someone, ang advice ko lang is speak in terms of being right here and right now. No need to overthink. Kasi yung iba kasi, inisip nila kapag nagkipag-usap, wait, dapat malaman ko yung name niya, dapat malaman ko yung number niya, ganon. Pero, what I think difference that, just speak. As a normal human being, just speak. Right here and right now. Ano yung maisip mo, sabihin mo lang. Ganon. Yeah. And since I used to speak to a lot of different people, over time, after 6 months, after 1 year, marami na ako nakakilala mga students, grade 7, grade 8, grade 9, grade 10, grade 11, grade 12. Like, every time mag-walk ako sa hallway, meron ako yan makakilala, tapos may ka-fist bump ako, ganon. Hindi naman talaga need na kapag marami kang friend, most of your time, makipagdaldalan ka na. It can either be parang usual na acknowledgement na para pag nakita mo ang kada isa, mag-fist bump ka. Minsan kapag nakita niyo ang kada isa, parang magtatango ka, ganun. Okay. Now, for the last part, grade 12 days, senior high school, the last day of the senior high school. So, what I did pretty much grade 12, I pretty much did the same approach of what I did during grade 11. All my experiences, all my compilation, parang grade 12, yan yung parang culmination. And additional thing that I did different that I wake up early in the morning, particularly 4 a.m. 4 a.m. doing morning routine and studying 1 hour before going to school. And studying 1 more hour before sleeping or before doing the evening routine. Everything else that I do during the day, as much as possible, ina-avoid ko yung pagpupuyat. Pero although I admit, the average hour of sleep when I was grade 12 is 5 hours. 5 hours. Average hour of sleep. It can either be more, minsan 6, minsan 7, pero never ako nagkaroon ng 8 hours of sleep. Particularly kapag part ka na ng org, especially kapag president ka sa SSLG, it consumed a lot of time, and because of that, I was forced to think strategically kung paano ko ba maximize tong time na to. Yun. And one thing that I also realized, being part of org, for example, vice president, secretary, treasurer, it really do not consume a lot of time. But being president sa school org, being president sa SSLG, I can say that it consumes a lot of mental capacity and time. And during this time, I realized na once you are part or president of an organization, always expect that you will experience a drop of academic performance, especially during busy season. Ang grade ko noon, compared when I was in grade 11, ang grade ko consistent, 95, 96, 97, 97, ganon. When I was a grade 12, ang grade ko noon is 97, 95, 97, 96. So, it fluctuates depending on the season. Since, there are times na mafo-force ka na mag-attend sa meeting, mafo-force ka na i-prioritize yung activity compared sa mga assignment, compared sa mga quizzes. Minsan nalilate quizzes ako. But, I have this thought nga na sabi ko, wait, kung hindi ako part ng SSLG, siguro, I graduated with highest honor. Instead of 97. Yan. Pero, masasabi ko na, compared sa SSLG and being with highest honor, I will choose to be part of SSLG. Why? Kasi sinasabi ko na kasi before, yung with highest honor, title lang yan, after few months, it becomes empty. Pero yung SSLG, yung part ng org, it will leave you with the memories na, yes, although mahirap, pero at the end of the day, you will have no regrets. Kasi you will have a memories that you will cherish the most. Yung mga paghihirap na yon, it will become a memory. So, being part of organization NSLG, super hard, but at the end, super fulfilling. Yan. Words of motivation, nasasabi ko. So, this is practically the entire summary of my entire elementary and high school journey. Particularly when it comes to ACADS, when it comes to study techniques, study habits, I hope that throughout the different stage of my life, grade 1 until grade 12, you pick up some valuable knowledge na pwede mong i-integrate. Hindi ko na masabi na lahat ng sinabi ko applicable sa'yo. Kasi sinabi ko nga na very different ang environment ko, very different ang experiences ko compared sa'yo. Pero I am sure that some part of it, maybe nung grade 7 ako, maybe nung grade 6 ako, maybe nung grade 10 ako, maybe nung grade 11 ako, there are something doon na magtatatak sa'yo na which in turn, pwede mong i-apply sa daily life mo. Yan. This is practically the summary. Some part may not be super detailed kasi super haba. But we will include it to our future vlog. But if there's something piece of advice that I can give, siguro, if I would sum up all my experiences, it all starts with the mind. Kasi if you have a desire, you will think of it constantly. And once you have that, I urge you, gawin nyo to. Write it down in the paper and paste it in the wall. As in, i-paste mo sa wall. And every single day, stare at it. Kung ano yung goal na yun, tignan nyo yun. And every single day, works toward it. Someday, your schedule, your action will be perfect. Someday, it will be difficult. Someday, wala kang gagawin at all. But what's more important is that you stay consistent. And always do your best for your future self. If you're in your public school, especially when you're in regular section, always take the initiative to become a leader when it comes to groupings, group activities. Huwag iasa sa iba ang performance sa school. Sinasabi ko. Kasi at the end, if you want to achieve the highest possible grade sa school ninyo, you need to rely on yourself. Pero kung kaya nyo, have a circle of friends sa mga tatalino and you will help each other. Yeah, your environment matter. Always do your best for your future self.